Coming up, we talk a new VR experience coming to Disney Springs in Orlando and to downtown Disney in Anaheim. Minnie Vans are getting a pricing structure adjustment. We share some news and rumors about the Disney Skyliner transportation system. And in our main segment, we discuss what it's like having a bachelor party in Walt Disney World. All that and more on this episode of WDW Opinion. Cue the music.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
This is the podcast where two friends, Connor
You are a child's plaything!
and Hank,
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
share their opinions, tips, and stories about anything and everything at Walt Disney World.
Trust me, what could go wrong?
Get ready, because this is WDW Opinion.
We're in the tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Hello and welcome to episode number 11 of WDW Opinion, the podcast where friends talk Disney. Visit WDWopinion.com to check out our blog posts on all things Disney and Universal, and follow us on social media at WDW Opinion to see what we're up to in between episodes. I'm your host, Connor Brown, and I'm joined by my co-host and Disney partner in crime, Mr. Hank Molsky. Hank, I heard you participated in a little Disney bar trivia last night under the team name WDW Opinion Podcast. The listeners are dying to know, how did you fare?
Does top quartile qualify as a good finish for the WDW Opinion Podcast?
Not for this podcast. We'll be looking for new co-hosts coming up next week.
Ah, crap. Okay. It was not Disney World trivia. It was Disney Film Obscure trivia, which we fared fine on, Connor. But as we quickly found, it was tough to keep pace with the very expansive library of all things Disney through many, many decades. We have a long way to go until we're winning that Disney trivia night. Or at least I am.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show, Hank and I, and the thing that I fret about this the most is, out of anyone in the world, not in the world, it's a bold topic, out of anyone who knows me, they know I'm the Disney guy, you know? I know way too much information, mostly about Walt Disney World, but a lot about, you know, the animators, the corporate executives, and the movies. But I am terrified of going to a Disney trivia night because I know I'm going to get a stupid Black Cauldron question from 1989.
Well, I just stumped you on the sequel to Aladdin's name.
Yeah,
too.
those
There you go.
direct to VHS classics, and then all
Lion
those,
King 2, Simba's Pride.
Oh, that was a good one. And all those crazy live action films they did in the 60s and 50s.
And one of the ones that was answered a question last night was Blank Check, 1994. No cast members that are even worth mentioning on the show.
None of them made it to Blank Check.
I believe it was an
2.
11% on Rotten Tomatoes. So.
Blank Check, is that sounds like Richie Rich?
I think it was like a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, I read the tab on Google when I Googled it afterwards. And I was like, well, missed that one. It was like a kid gets a blank check and goes crazy. I don't know, right? It's like a bad version of Home Alone. That's probably what they were trying to ride off of.
For film, Blank Check?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Blank check.
You know what? Now that I pull this up, I do remember this.
See, there you go. Your Black Cauldron of Disney films.
Oh, God. Was this a Disney Channel original movie?
No. Was it? No. It looked like a direct-to-VHS type of thing.
No. Tone Lock was in it. Was he really? We've mentioned him on the show.
That's not even in the first 4 ones that pop up on Google.
Oh, no.
See,
He's down at the bottom. His character name was Juice.
See, you can't make this stuff up. Disney's got quite the history.
Tone Lock, also on Kitchen Cabaret. Or Food Rocks, I should say.
There you go.
We've mentioned him.
R.I.P.
We've mentioned him on the show before. Tone Lock, that's going to be our get, right? Our top celebrity guest interview.
Yeah, there we go.
Tone, how was it like working on Blank Check? It was wild, dude. Well, here's hoping. Someday we'll get
Hey,
him.
and welcome to all our new listeners that were like, I'm going to listen to this terrible podcast that's in 5th place right
I
now.
texted Hank and I said, how much would it take for you to name your trivia team WDW Opinion Podcast? And he said, nothing at all. And he did it. So
Yeah.
So the guy had to read out your team name after every round, right?
Yeah.
So if you were
here-
in the greater Cincinnati area and you were playing Disney trivia sometime last week, because this comes out on a Monday, and you remember the team name WDW Opinion Podcast, hey, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't disappoint you.
No, hopefully we don't. Well, we probably will. But that's for you to decide, because now it's time for News to Opinion. This is our weekly segment where we each pick a Disney news story from the past week to discuss and share our thoughts and opinions on. My Disney news story for the week is The Void announces Wreck-It Ralph breaks VR experience to debut this fall. Disney has officially announced that The Void, in collaboration with ILM X Lab, Lucasfilm's immersive entertainment division, is bringing 2 new virtual reality experiences to Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Both experiences will be based on material from Walt Disney Animation Studios and Marvel Studios. The first new experience is set to debut this fall and is based on the upcoming Ralph Breaks the Internet from Disney Animation Studios. Ralph Breaks VR will put guests inside a new multi-sensory Disney adventure where they will be immersed in the worlds of the internet and online gaming with Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope von Schweetz. So The Void opened, I believe, last year, and it created a Star Wars themed experience. So The Void is currently located in Disney Springs in Walt Disney World and in downtown Disney in Disneyland. What it is a virtual reality experience like nothing you've ever really seen before. It's not like one of those Dave and Buster's or Disney Quest like experiences where you go, you're stationary and you put the VR on. No, this is like you put VR on and you're moving all throughout this area.
Multi-sensory, definitely key, yeah.
Multi-sensory, yeah, because it was something crazy where, and it's just basically like a storefront that you walk into. You sign up for a time, you pay the price, and then you go in and you do this basically story, but it's multi-sensory in the sense, I think you can feel things, but if you see a bench on the VR goggles that you're looking on, you can go up to it and you physically can sit on the bench. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be absolutely incredible. I haven't had the chance to do it yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
But
I hear that there's no lag too.
No.
Like when this stuff is happening, it is all rendering perfectly.
Because you also go with a group of people, so you're experiencing this together. So I assume when you turn, you're seeing the other people in their stormtrooper garb or whatever.
Exactly.
But everyone who said this, who has experienced this, has said that it's been awesome. Really, really, really cool.
I love watching. Have you seen any videos of like where they have the camera on the people walking through the space?
Yeah.
And you can see them like brushing away cobwebs, and it's like you can see in the real space it's like little pieces of string hanging down in the area, but in the VR setting they're pushing away these cobwebs, that type of stuff, because it started out like a lot of their, if you watch old The Void promotional material, it's a lot of like almost, I want to say like haunted walkthrough stuff, a lot of like ghosts and like zombie hunting, and now migrating all the way to this point where you're talking about Wreck-It Ralph. It's really evolved quite a bit.
Yeah, so this company, The Void, I believe was originally bought by Lucasfilm, but like what Hank...
They went through the Disney Accelerator program, actually.
Gotcha.
The startup. But I think they inked some kind of partnership with Lucasfilm because of the connection that they got from going through the Disney Accelerator.
So that's how they originally started doing like haunted houses and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like that's what their concept material was. And they were looking to acquire intellectual property And they were able to do that through the relationship that they got when they went through the Disney Accelerator program.
Gotcha.
It's actually a local startup in Cincinnati that went through the Disney Accelerator. So that's how I kind of figured out some of the Disney Accelerator background.
Oh, that's pretty nifty. Pretty nifty.
Chore Monster, Family Tech. They did some stuff with the Circle Disney app.
Oh,
So, yeah.
fascinating.
A lot of cool stuff comes out of that accelerator for Disney. Like The Void, yeah.
And you know what I think this is when Disney started it, a testing ground for future experiences to come to the parks. And the fact that they're changing it up to bring more people in with Wreck-It Ralph, and they said this experience will be followed by one based on an undisclosed Marvel movie that will premiere sometime in 2019. Do you read that as a Marvel movie premiering in sometime in 2019, or the Marvel experience of the Void premiering
Marvel
sometime?
Experience of the Void.
Okay.
It gotta be.
Okay.
If they're rolling it out, I mean, let's think about it. If they're rolling out for Wreck-It Ralph, surely they're ready to go Marvel something. They can, and they don't. It doesn't need to be in Disney Springs.
Sorry, I meant like what it was going to be based on, like what character it was going to be based on.
Oh, so you're saying I see the way the verbiage.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know.
We'll see.
Captain Marvel.
But I think this is interesting because there have been rumors for quite a while that our favorite attraction on the podcast, Stitch's Great Escape, was going away, and it was going to be replaced by a virtual reality experience featuring Wreck-It Ralph. Now, these were all just always rumors, and nothing was ever confirmed, but I think that this pretty much is the nail in the coffin, that is not occurring in Magic Kingdom for the foreseeable future.
You know, and that was such a long-running rumor that you almost wonder if this is like a testing ground, too, in a way. How well does Wreck-It Ralph perform in the Void? Let's see if it's worth putting in the park.
I'm always interested to see how long it takes for an idea that never came to fruition to come into the public, you know? Mm-hmm. Like we realized about like Thunder Mesa, which was going to be this gigantic expansion in Frontierland. We now know the full details of that, like other experiences that never happened. But I don't think we'll ever know about what this is for quite some time. But
you know what I do like about this that I wanted to add? This is the full realization of what the Void should be, where it's like you get to go. It's as close as they'll ever get to being in the Mario world. It'll have to be. And here's the thing about Disney is they're probably a little bit afraid of what's going to happen over when that Nintendo IP makes its way into the Universal third gate, fourth gate, whatever you want to call it. It's a third gate. It's still a water park. But when that Nintendo Land inevitably opens up, Disney's really going to need that fun kind of internet meme video game type feel where this is a play. You know, it's a play on Donkey Kong or Nintendo, that golden age of video games. But Wreck-It Ralph, you can see they're trying to realize that through this video game setting of like the Void.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think
it fits perfectly though. That's what I'm saying. I'd love to go into Mario World, but you know, I'll settle for Niceland.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I do think, you know, they're probably, when Nintendo comes to Universal in Orlando, they're going to have a Mario Kart ride. Like, we've seen those patents and things like that. And it looks incredible. So, yeah, I think that whole idea of Disney wants to play off of that, you know, the video game experience, because in today's day and age where IPs reign supreme, Disney doesn't really have any video game IPs at their disposal. And with video games becoming so much bigger, like esports is a $1 billion industry already. You know, people, quote unquote, athletes or whatever, you know, playing these games professionally, getting paid to play these things. I think video games for the next generation is only going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is Disney dipping their toes into that water.
Kingdom Hearts, baby.
Oh, I used to play Kingdom Hearts on PS2.
Oh yeah,
it was pretty all right.
It was pretty okay.
And it was always interesting because it was just this.
That's super popular though. Kingdom Hearts is the real deal.
Oh, it's very popular. But you would play with like Mickey and stuff, but your character was that guy with all the hearts and keys. And he was always like, I don't know, he's just so weird looking. Like with his baggy pants and his oversized shoes, but he was a human. And then he was just running around with the other characters, like the normal, Fab Five.
I saw some promotional material today of them adding in Big Hero 6 characters into the next Kingdom Hearts. Ooh, it looked awesome to see Baymax in that full suit, that he wears for like 1 second in the movie. Ooh.
The most underrated film of the last decade from Disney.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Big Hero 6, right?
I love that they acknowledge that, in a way where it's like, we're just going to keep Baymax here because we know this movie and this character is awesome. And people are always going to want to meet him in Epcot.
Somebody's going to come crawling through this area and want to meet him. I love that movie.
Some of the best videos you'll see on the internet of kids meeting Baymax.
Oh my gosh.
Going in for the big hug. Have you seen that one where the kid goes in and bonks his head on it
Yeah.
and falls right on his back?
Yeah. And apparently they're having the TV show. So,
yeah.
Something.
I guess I should probably do my news to opinion since we
hit it.
Yeah, we've really dove deep on that one. This one comes, I'm going from the laughingplace.com for this. This is WDW to adjust pricing structure for the Minnie Van service. Expand service to surrounding hotel locations. This just dropped earlier this week. Walt Disney World is looking to expand their Minnie Van service to even more guests visiting the resort. Those staying in the Bonnet Creek, Flaming Crossing, and Hotel Plaza Boulevard resorts will... there's a typo on this website.
It's Flamingo Crossing.
I was going to say, I know Flamingo Crossing. And Hotel Plaza, this is the last time I pull my news story from here. And Hotel Plaza Boulevard resorts will soon be able to use this exclusive service. What's happening? The Disney World's Minnie Van service will be expanding to include other resorts, blah, blah, blah. Additional service will be moving from its current flat fee model to distance-based pricing. As a result, pricing for the Minnie Van rides will be based on the destination within the Disney World results, but there is no details yet on what that's going to be. So I take this as, the inevitable expansion of what the Minnie Vans will become and are becoming at Disney World. It always was going to be a testing ground. You saw it start at deluxe resorts first, and then it expanded a little bit more, went a little bit further. You could take it to the airport for $150. Now it's going to nearby resorts. I think my favorite part about this story is I start to think about Connor and I talk about our good friends over at the good friends. I say it like we know them. We're just fans of the Disney Dish podcast.
We know them in spirit.
Yeah, we know
Kindred
them in spirit
spirits
because we listened. Yeah, Jim Hill and Len Testo talking about. Disney had to do a major transportational study about what was going wrong with their transportation services. They've got dated monorails, dated buses, all that types of things. And a lot of the progress that you see, which we're going to talk about later in this show, was based on a transportational study. And one of those findings was, when you go to other cities and you see all these yellow cabs there and you get all excited when you go to New York City, they got the yellow cabs. Or, you go to San Francisco and you see the trolley. Granted, Disney World has that in the monorail, but it's dated and it's been there forever. This transportation study returned, you need those cabs. So here you go, how it's some polka-dotted red with white polka dot vans driving around, and they are getting even more all over the place. Pretty soon it's going to be like the yellow cabs in New York, but this in Disney.
It's a little like the Magical Express syndrome. Like when you're around Orlando, you're constantly seeing that, and you're like, oh, wow, those people are going to the Disney World. They're going to stay on property and stuff, I experienced a mini van the last time I was there. So the flat fee that was what they had going on was $25. $25 would get you and up to, I think it was 5 other guests. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because their vehicles would only fit 7. 5 other guests anywhere on property from where you were. So if you're at Magic Kingdom and you want to go to Disney Springs, it would be $25, and that's a good distance. But if you were at Epcot and you only wanted to go to Hollywood Studios, which wasn't very far at all, it also would be $25. it was expensive for sure, but the benefit was it picks you up wherever you are. It can pick you up from your front door of whatever, complex you're staying at, as compared to if you have a Lyft or an Uber, you have to go basically to the front of the resort to pick it up.
Interesting.
And then the big kicker was it drops you off right at the front of the gates. So when it comes to the theme parks, it would go into the bus circles. And there's an dedicated bus stop where the Minnie Vans pull in and drop you off. Where it really helps is in Magic Kingdom, where taxi cabs and Ubers drop you off at ticketing and transportation, and you have to take either the monorail or the ferry boat into Magic Kingdom. Brutal. This will drop you at the bus stop, which bypasses all of that. We did it because we had a very early morning breakfast reservation, so it was much easier than trying to take a bus and do that. It was great. I mean, I don't think the $25 I do think was steep. The cast members were very friendly, brand spanking new cars. But yeah, that can really add up, especially if you're doing it a couple times a day.
Connor, what's your opinion on obviously the price it's always going to be a premium service. It's going to be an upcharge. Do you think that these pricing adjustments are going to be on the way down now? Where you were paying to be that prototype or, kind of a beta tester before, do you see it tracking downwards where if you're taking one from an all-star resort to nearby at like Epcot or Hollywood Studios that you actually are going to be paying a lot less than $25, or do you always think that there's this certain premium that you're going to have to hit on these types of travel?
I think it will be a premium when compared to a regular Lyft or an Uber, because this is actually facilitated through the Lyft app. So when you open it, their services, you'll basically have a selection. You'll be like regular Lyft, Lyft Line, Lyft XL, or minivan. So I think it will always be more expensive than that, just because it's Disney, and as it should be, you do get benefits from like I was saying. But I think it won't be the flat $25. I don't think it'll be $25 and starts from there. I think it'll be the reverse. It'll go down.
I do think that's when they really start to not saturate, but they start to take over that market a little bit more. I agree. I think they do need to always make it a premium, and they need to market as such. But falling under that point where it's like, well, I'm not going to pay $25 to go from the all-star resort to, Hollywood Studios. If it becomes, I'll pay 10 versus 6 on an Uber, I think that's when you start to see those things everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. And I think one of the points in this story that not a lot of places reported, but that I heard about, was Disney also announced it would be expanding its fleet by a lot, in both drivers and cars and vehicles. And the big kicker for the minivan service for me is it completely eliminates, if you're willing to pay, it completely eliminates the big problem that people always had with Disney transportation, was not connecting resort to resort, right? You can't take a bus from Wilderness Lodge to Contemporary. You have to go to the Magic Kingdom and then transfer. Same thing with any of the resorts except for the ones on the monorail loop or the boats. For the most part, if you wanted to get to a moderate and you were staying at some other place, there was a connecting point. But this is, you can take a minivan from this resort to this resort, and that's a big pull for people, I think.
I think there is, and I hate when I say this, but it is true. We could go for a full show just talking about the implications of the future of transport. We're going to get into that a little bit in just a minute here. But you look at, these AR experiences that Disney is looking into patents with, and projections on windows and such. And when they're able to control those experiences like a minivan where, if you're looking out your window, you might see Iron Man zip past you. And they're really branding that Disney World experience. And these turn into fully autonomous vehicles. You won't break Disney. You can if you pay $10 more a ride or $5 more a ride, 20% more, to keep in that total Disney immersion down the line, you wouldn't hesitate, you know? If you're like, oh, I can have the kids watch Iron Man zip by in the car on our way to Magic Kingdom, and there's going to be a show along the way, forget about it, you know?
I will never be upset with having too many options, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people will come at it with, oh, well, it's just another upcharge. It's just another upcharge. What they won't say is it's just another upcharge that you don't have to do. There's plenty of complimentary transportation. This is just an added convenience. You pay for a convenience like you pay for a bottle of water. It's convenient, more convenient than going to the drinking fountain.
Connor, I got one more thing to make you think about on this that I was thinking with the Minnie Van service. So, they talk a lot about the seamless immersion between the eventual Star Wars hotel and the Star Wars park. You know, there's going to be that bridge or some type of transportation that takes you from the Star Wars hotel straight into the park, that premium experience. But there is the opportunity now for Disney to expand, if we're talking about this total Disney transport, customizable. Maybe someday this Minnie Van service, if they're working through these types of technology, maybe your immersion begins just a little sooner when Disney's got all this data on these Disney-owned Uber services. So when you get picked up at the Magic Kingdom, maybe you're paying an even little bit more to go back in a Star Wars vehicle from any park.
Wasn't there a Nissan Rogue promotion?
Yeah, there was.
Rogue One, that's what it was. Rogue One. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So that immersion gets a little bit further away.
One thing that the Walt Disney Company loves is synergy. Any way it can bring in, different brands, different lines of business together, they're totally on board with it.
Yeah.
There's incredible potential both in VR and in ride sharing at Disney World. Like Hank was just talking about, we both love a podcast called The Disney Dish, featuring Jim Hill and Len Testa. We listen to it every week because of the news we discover, the stories that are told, and because the two hosts seem like genuinely awesome dudes. This past week on their show, they discussed some new details they found out about the Disney Skyliner, and we wanted to share them with you here and let you know what our thoughts are on the new system. So the Skyliner is basically a gondola system that was announced at the last D23, which was in 2017. And it's a system that connects several resorts to a couple different theme parks for now. The loop includes Epcot, Disney's Riviera Resort, which will open next year, Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and the Art of Animation and Pop Century Resorts.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I thought you were going to go with the Caribbean Resort, which reopens. Oh, no, wait. It is open, and you have to live in construction.
It is open, and there's... If you don't know, there's a lot of construction going on over there.
There's barely even a lobby.
I believe...
it's like a tent.
If you want food, you have to go to a tent. That's right. You have to go to a tent.
It's really a tent.
Like you're at the...
There's no pool.
You're at the U.S. Open. Yeah. It
is like the U.S.
Great
Open.
Customer service on their part. And you know how much they're bringing prices down?
Like what? 10%?
They aren't.
They're not.
Yeah, there's a tractor over there, but you're still going to pay the premium. So,
enjoy those new rooms though at a discounted price at the Pop Century. You're still paying full price for the Caribbean Resort though.
Idiot. Hank and I, we're actually staying at the Pop Century Resort coming up, and we just got that email that said, please pardon our construction efforts on the Disney
Which is
Skyliner.
Totally negligible, especially in the face of like all the other stuff that's happening at Disney resorts right now.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's in the middle of a lake. That's far away from most of the rooms.
If you complain about that, you got some serious problems.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate Disney stepping out and doing that, but man, I hope I get like a box of chocolates if I stay at the Caribbean in that case.
No, you don't. They're like...
you get a personal message from Buddy Dyer.
Orlando. Hi, I'm Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. Noted drunk. Oh, God, I shouldn't have said that.
Sorry if you listen, buddy. We like you.
We like you.
I know there's a lot more that Orlando has to offer than its world-class
theme parks and money. Then he goes into, we're talking about Buddy Dyer welcome you to the Orlando International Airport when you're on the fake monorail going from Terminal A or whatever to the main terminal. And he's like, there's so much more than our world-class theme parks. And then he like dives into medicine and like technology. And you're like, all right, pump your brakes there, champ.
Oh, how does that help me?
Yeah, this isn't Silicon Valley, all right? So overall, I'm very excited about the Skyliner. I think it's a really interesting and definitely unique transportation system. I think the only times we've really seen, gondolas like this are up the face of a mountain at a ski resort or something like that. Yep. Or when it used to go through Fantasyland and Tomorrowland and the Magic Kingdom and in Disneyland. But leading up, a lot of people have been saying some problems like, oh, well, it's going to take so long for them to...
Don't hold enough people.
Yeah, they're not going to hold enough people. It's going to take long to load. Someone even said there's not going to be any AC, which was just crazy. But I just want to run down some quick facts that have now been, quote-unquote confirmed by Jim Hill and Len Testa. And pretty much when they say something, they're almost like 100% confident that it's going to happen because they have, the Disney insiders that one day we will have too. And if you are a Disney insider and you can verify it, go ahead and send emails to Connor@WDWopinion.com. We'd love to break some news.
Yeah, we're big fans of yours.
Maybe big fans of your insert name here. We're big fans of you. So the big thing is, there's going to be AC on these things, of course. It's going to be like an Omni Mover in the sky. Omni Mover is like a system that never stops moving. So think of Haunted Mansion, think of Peter Pan. It's going, you better get on or it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
But a cool thing is it has fold down seats in each of these, I guess you could call them cars, so they can fit anywhere from 8 to 16 people. So 8 people sitting down or as much as 16 people standing up. And of course, during downtimes, they'll let 2, 3 people in, 1 person in, whatever. But it's going to go 16 miles per hour when it's actually on, out of the station, moving on the line. Yep. So it's going to go pretty quick considering, it's 16 miles per hour where it doesn't ever slow down. It's continuous 16 miles an hour. But then when it comes into the station, it slows down to 1 mile an hour. And this, Hank, and I'm sure you thought it was the craziest thing too, it's going to detach from the main rope and go in
that's fascinating.
To its own so that
and that's where it's like totally different than a ski resort, because the ski resort's truly, you got to get on this thing.
Oh, yeah. But it seems like it's going to almost come to a stop as 1 mile an hour. That's as much of a stop as it can be. But do you think it's going to come in like multiple ones will come in at a time?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But
I think so. I think they're building those stations to be big enough where it's got to be a couple.
It's got to. Because they're saying load times of around 30 seconds. That makes perfect sense, because there's going to be, elderly people, kids, people in wheelchairs that are going to take a while to get on. But people exiting the vehicle will come out on one side and people entering it will come in on the other. So there'll be doors on both sides to kind of think of the monorail with that as well. And then the other big thing is that they were told this is just the beginning for this system.
Oh, yeah.
That where it's basically being installed right now is the Epcot and Hollywood Studios resort areas. And then it kind of extends down to Art of Animation and Pop Century are almost considered Animal Kingdom area, but right on the cusp of that. But it's just connecting that one section there. But phase 1 is that eventually down the line, it'll start to connect places like Animal Kingdom Lodge, even Disney Springs. So this is going to be, as the monorail says, the highway in the sky. This is going to be the interstate in the sky, so to speak. Yeah. It's going to connect possibly every single point in Disney World. And it's just going to be like we were talking about, they brought in this guy from San Francisco who worked on the transportation systems out there, and he was an independent consultant, and he said, you need something iconic like those yellow taxis and like that San Francisco trolley car, and it's going to be something where people go, you have to ride this. It's going to be an attraction and a transportation method.
Well, I think that it's interesting that I think there was so much skepticism maybe in the community around the monorail, or not the monorail, around the Skyliner, where it's like, I don't know, if these things only hold 6 people and they're not heated and they move slow and they not break down, it's tough to get people on and off. The lines are crazy. Why am I going to like that? But basically what we're saying today is we're hearing you're getting that premium ski resort type feel now. You're getting that premium gondola feel where it's air conditioned. There's seats for a lot of people. You can jam a lot in if you need to during high times. They move quick. It's kind of, I mean, think about this. It's a brand new system too. It's state-of-the-art stuff. It's, it's bleeding edge. And it's already a cheaper form of transport than the monorail. So, I'm stretching here a bit, but Disney can feel like they're overspending on it and still be way below the budget of other places. So I am expecting these, now getting this stuff confirmed, that it's going to be a really nice experience. And it is going to be what you're saying. You got to try it.
You got to try it at least once.
Not happy about the prices going up at the resorts they're going to be at, though.
So there's always been 3, some would say 4 levels of resorts in Walt Disney World. Values, moderates, deluxes, and then also deluxe villas, which are just Disney Vacation Club resorts, but they take place at deluxe hotels. And there's a couple different differentiators between, the difference between a deluxe and a moderate and a value. Some things like a value won't have a sit-down restaurant, but a moderate will, and a deluxe will have a signature dining restaurant, sit-down restaurant. Some things like there will be different pools, or a moderate will have a slide at a pool and a value won't. But the big thing is always location. Deluxe resorts are the ones on the monorail loop, on the Epcot boat loop, ones that are right there that you can walk to, that you have different transportation options to get to parks. It's not just bus to bus for the most part. They're in close proximity to the parks. You move a little bit more outside, you're going to get a moderate. Further away from the parks, you're going to get a value. And value is really the only way to get to.
And even further away, you get a deluxe. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh, but the values, the only way to get to and from is the buses, right? So you pay that extra premium. Obviously, the hotel rooms and the way things are laid out and the theming as well. But when you're taking this system and you're putting it at a deluxe resort, it's going to be connected to a deluxe villa resort in the Riviera, a moderate in Caribbean Beach, and 2 values in Pop Century and Art of Animation. Those lines of pricing can easily start to be blurred because they have this added benefit of this additional transportation system that's connected to not 1 but 2 theme parks in Hollywood Studios and Epcot.
And you got the brand new stinking rooms too at the Pop Century, which are just, I'm a big fan of the redesign of those.
And Art of Animation only opened in 2012.
Yeah, forget about that too.
Because you can even add in, there's 2 levels of values, or 3 levels of values, All-Stars, Pop is a little better, and then Art of Animation is better.
Boy, Art of Animation prices certainly seem like they tend to be higher than some of the moderates too, when you look at it. Pretty consistently almost.
Yeah. So if this is a way where every resort is connected and, maybe one isn't, and that's the super, super low-priced one, who knows? Hank, did you actually see that the Universal's resorts that they're opening next year, they're very far away from the other hotels? And
what are the 2 beach ones? What are the names?
So it's the Endless Summer Resort. And the one opening up next year, I believe, is Surfside Inn and Suites.
Yes.
And they sit on the land of Wet and Wild, which is the former water park, which is down the road, so you'll have to take a bus to get there, and it's going to be further away than any of the other ones. Those rooms are starting at $79 a night.
Yep.
That's incredible.
They are willing to take a loss for 6 years on those rooms just to try to control the hotel market. And they're supposed to be nice rooms too.
Oh yeah, I mean, anything that Universal has put out room-wise in the last few years seems incredible. I mean, they're also like firmly committed for the next 10 years to doing like a hotel a year, which is crazy for 2 theme parks and a water park.
It's really going to make us start to be, hey, I'm going to be one of those persons, I'll say it up front, I'm going to be one of those people that'll start to consider, if the transportation's there, that type of thing, maybe it does make sense. Maybe it gets to the point where if you can stay for $79 a night, that you can start to recoup some of that cost. Like, it's only $20 to get in an Uber to the airport, and then still it's under $100 a night, if I count that stuff in. But man, I mean, it's going to be tougher to justify. It's good. The hotel war between Disney and Universal is good for the consumer.
The war between Disney and Universal is good for the consumer.
There you go. Yeah, because you get those brilliant pieces of artwork like the Fast and Furious ride.
Oh, I can't wait to ride that bad boy in November. Oh, man.
For those of you that are new to the podcast, that ride is not good.
It's what some would say human garbage. Don't quote me on that
joke.
Yet. I'll let you know.
Hopefully The Rock doesn't listen to this podcast.
Oh, God. Rock, you give a performance of a lifetime in it. Everyone else, not so much. R.I.P. Paul Walker.
Do a Moana ride, please.
R.I.P. Paul Walker.
That actually, I'm getting totally sidetracked here, but Connor, I think we need to plan a full week of vacation to Disney World the week before Jungle Cruise comes out next fall, and just ride Jungle Cruise all day for 7 days straight until the skipper jumps on and it's Emily Blunt and The Rock.
Oh my God. Like when Johnny Depp used to go into Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, what do you mean used to? It's like still in his contract.
I don't know if it is. I hear he's bankrupt. He's not doing too well. But
no, he's not doing too well. Maybe he does it for Johnny, get out of the rock.
Johnny, you're gonna set off the systems. Get it back in the boat. They have
they argue that's gonna happen. You know that.
Oh yeah, without it.
He's 100% gonna be the skipper.
Oh my God.
And all those, I'm gonna be so jealous of those people. Actually, I won't, because I'm gonna be in that boat.
We're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Making a pact right now. And
we're gonna be on that boat.
We're gonna ride the Skyliner when we're down there too.
Unless it's one of those stupid Omaze competitions where you gotta pay like $15,000 to get to 100 entries.
Oh boy. We'll let you know. Everyone, we'll let you know.
Back to the Skyliner.
That's all I have. Do you have any other thoughts on the Skyliner?
No, I am excited about it. I think the level of the premium experience does start to get you a little bit more excited. It's not this hot box that floats through the sky that you can't fit on, and it looks like there's a bear upstream causing trouble, and you get stuck on it for an hour. But no, it sounds like it's going to be pretty neat.
I will say, won't be excited when it starts thundering and lightning.
No, that'd be pretty terrifying. It's not as high as I thought it would be, but that doesn't help.
No.
It's still metal. It's still a metal track.
Yeah, it's still the highest metal thing.
The Everglades.
Yeah.
Through the swamp.
But, ladies and gentlemen, other than that, totally safe. Totally safe. We look forward to it opening. When you think bachelor parties, we know the first thing that comes to mind is Disney World. Okay, maybe not. But we are here to tell you that Disney World is an awesome option for the Disney-obsessed betrothed. Betrothed to be. Disney isn't just for families, it's for college kids, 20-somethings, singles, couples, newlyweds, retirees, anyone and everyone under the sun can have fun at Walt Disney World. While Disney World might not seem like a bachelor party destination, we're here to say that it can and will be fun no matter who makes up the party. Here's to spending the rest of your life with someone and saying goodbye to singlehood at the most magical place on earth. Now, you might be thinking, how are we qualified to speak on this topic? Well, one of our very own celebrated their bachelor party in a sweet 2-bedroom attached room at the All-Star Resort. So, Hank, was this a great way to say goodbye to singlehood, or do you regret not just going to Vegas with the boys?
I think I enjoyed it just for the fact so everyone could make a joke about a Disney princess for like a month. Don't come home with a Disney princess.
Oh my God, that would drive me bananas.
Hey, pal, sorry, you're the 5th person to make that joke today.
Hey, nice job, you idiot.
Don't do anything promiscuous with Cinderella. Very funny.
Nice, yeah, real funny. Can't wait to marry your daughter.
My father-in-law did not make that joke. Maybe he did.
Thank God.
Everyone made the joke.
Thank
Everyone.
God. When I was writing this script, do you remember which All-Star we stayed at? Sports. Oh my God.
Sports.
I knew that. I just thought of the video I made. Sports. We're staying baseball. I had a blast on this.
Oh yeah.
Again, it's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think bachelor party, but I think there's something of, what do you want the bachelor party to be? Do you want it to be something where you just get absolutely wrecked?
Irresponsible.
Yeah, irresponsible.
Keep the show PG.
Forget everything or whatever.
Yeah.
Or do you want it to be a fun time where you're celebrating with people you care about?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not saying irresponsible, but there's absolutely no reason you can't have adult fun in Disney World. And that's what we're trying to say too, is I think a lot of people, especially, I mean, in 2018, there's a little bit less of the pop culture desire for the man needs to go to Las Vegas, to experience the bachelor party that you think needs to be the bachelor party. That idea has kind of, floated a little bit away out of, mainstream pop culture. And we had an 18-year-old brother that we brought along with us too. And it's just family fun meets adult fun too. There's no reason you can't marry the two.
So nice pun, marry. So I think
all right, see you guys.
That was good. I'll talk about it for the rest of it. Single Connor. So I think that brings up the first point. Why do it? Look at the makeup of your party. I think, like I said, like the the cliche bachelor party is Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Atlantic City, is that still a place? I don't know. But if you look at the makeup of your party, and if there is someone underage, that rules out Vegas. That rules out a couple options. But at one point, I was in Hank's wedding party. I was at his bachelor party. We were coming to the point of we want to surprise Hank with where we're going to go. Well, where do we want to go? And I just said, screw it. And I went right to Hank and I said, listen, we got 2 options. One option, we're not sure someone underage is going to have a whole lot of fun. This other option, people want to do, but we want to ask you first. It's Disney, and we know everyone will have fun here. What do you want to do? And Hank, being the gracious person he said, I want to go to the place where the most people are going to have fun.
I said, Hawaii, Dad.
And I said, why don't you kick rocks?
No, you say, shut up, Russ.
Shut up, Russ.
Wally World.
Shut up, Rusty. Wally World. So, yeah, Hawaii. I mean, I think it's a great option for that. But you can't just come at it with, oh, well, we can't get into the clubs, so we're going to Disney because we have someone. No, you're going because you're going to have fun, and you're going to be with people that you want, and that's what's going to happen at Disney World.
Yeah, I think another thing, too, is you look at you. I think you've hit the nail on the head with what are you trying to accomplish? Is your groom to be, or are the guys all golfers? Go golfing, Go somewhere, do stuff that people are going to have the most fun with. Is there someone underage? Maybe going to clubs isn't a great idea. Does this person have a gambling problem? Probably not a good idea to go to Vegas. Make the right decision. We're saying, think about Disney. Think about it as a way to, mend together, something where it's really accessible to a lot of different people. You don't have to like a specific thing.
That's a good point. I forgot we had pondered like a golf trip, but then we're like, well, 2 people don't play golf, so that rules it out. And I say this all the time, Disney World truly is a world unto itself. And because of that, there is something for literally everyone there. Everyone and anyone can find that one thing. Most of the time it's multiple things, a lot of things that they will enjoy. So that's why it's so appealing, especially when you have a group of probably similar aged people, but they have different tastes and opinions. This is why that's a great place to go to.
Yeah. It is a lot to do.
And there's still plenty of bachelor party things you can experience there, like knocking back a couple of brews with the boys.
Not LeFou's brews either.
Well,
real brews.
Well, they may or may not have had to pull me away from the LeFou's brews. My face is actually on the wall at Gaston's Tavern.
Oh no!
I
got in a fist fight with Gaston.
Brew is the frozen apple cider with the pomegranate foam at the marshmallow and pomegranate foam. I don't know why I say pomegranate. I don't think there's any pomegranate involved. Foam in the Gaston's Tavern in Fantasyland.
Yes, it's a non-alcoholic drink.
Oh well,
folks.
not if you do it right. And by the second time, the sugar starts to turn into what I can only assume is alcohol, and you get a little crazy. Like I would do every single time I would go. They're also $9, so I didn't make a whole lot of money whenever I was down there. But I actually had when I was working on the Disney College program, I had a roommate who worked quick service, food and beverage, in the Fantasyland, Tomorrowland area, and he would work there once in a while. And they have this thing where it's a frozen, so it's the frozen drink is the frozen apple juice, and then they put the foam on it so it looks like a beer, basically. So like the foam looks like the head, and I love the foam so much. And I was like, dude, you gotta steal me a can of foam, just so I could sit on my bed and just rip shots of it. And he tried, but he was like, I can't do it. I can't risk getting fired.
Yeah. Good for him.
God is my witness, I will get a can of that foam.
One day.
Christ, I will get a can of that foam.
But yeah, there are a lot of places where, as Disney would say, you can enjoy adult libations around the property. Like we will go over all the different places, but you can obviously, everyone thinks right off the bat, oh, you can drink around the world. Well, sure you can. Of course you can do Epcot, but there's a whole lot more than that. You've got Disney Springs that's totally revitalized, whole new place to go and check out, beautiful place to walk around now, even more so than we were there, Connor.
Oh yeah.
You can't forget about the resort loop, especially with places to dive into like Trader Sam's.
Monorail crawl.
Monorail crawl. Which is maybe even, a lot of people would argue now that might even be more fun than the World Showcase crawl, wouldn't you say?
Yes, because of what it is. It's relaxed. You're ducking in and out of AC.
I shouldn't say a lot of people. There are people out there that would make that argument.
Oh, yeah. You're ducking in and out of AC for the most part.
You're on a fast-moving object between resorts.
I do like that a lot, but let's also not forget, if you're staying on property or even if you're staying somewhere else in Orlando, it's sunny and bright most days out of the year. So if you want to go over to the pool and you want to hang out there, go to the pool bar, that's a great way to relax too and enjoy.
Connor, you and your dad are quite the aficionados of pool bars. What are your favorites?
We don't actually go to a whole lot of pool bars, to be honest.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
We're not big pool people.
You like the one at Wilderness Lodge, Copper Creek.
Yeah, you know what? Would you consider that a pool bar?
Waterfront bar.
Yeah, you give me a waterfront bar, phew, I'm there.
Yeah, actually, that's what I should have
Yes.
said. I should have said waterfront bar because you got plenty of those around property. I mean, they're basically everywhere.
Top 5 waterfront bars. Ready for this? No particular order. I already forgot all of them.
All right, folks. Well, it's been a good show.
Oh shoot.
Make sure you check. Okay.
Jock Lindsay's. Ooh. Dockside Margaritas.
I do like that.
Also in Disney Springs. Wow, 3 of these are going to be Disney Springs. Boathouse Dock on the Boathouse in Disney Springs.
I haven't done that one.
Then we have Copper Creek, which
Beautiful.
I can't even remember what that's called, at Wilderness Lodge. And then the 5th I will give to
The entire World Showcase, because it's all on the waterfront.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
No, it really is beautiful, though.
There you go.
I'm thinking about, you grab a drink and you turn around and you walk over to that trash can, you put your arms on it, and you're staring out over the water.
Boom. Bada bang, bada boom. There you go.
The most popular table at the Food and Wine Festival, the top of a trash can.
Impromptu top 5 right there. Use it for when you go to Disney World on your bachelor party.
Yeah, and you can't forget, too, like you were saying, Connor, I thought you were even going in a little bit of a different direction, is you're in Florida. Check it out. Go around Orlando. Go to Universal. Have a Duff.
Ooh, Duff beer. It is good.
And if you cycle away from, it's not all about, having libations the entire time. Have some fun with people. Go on a ride. You can go golfing on property. You can go, there's plenty in Disney Springs now. You can do the Void. You can go to the NBA Experience pretty soon. Can't go to Disney Quest.
Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, but
Gosh, there's so much to do.
But I mean, like,
as Buddy Dyer would say, there's a whole world out
or the
there.
whole
You don't
world
know
out
about.
there. Welcome to Orlando. But there is so much to do, and I think and I want to try and push people to do this more, to explore Orlando more when they're down there beyond the parks. And I think you can come into a bachelor party with that kind of mentality. Do you want it to be more park heavy, or is it a combo of parks or resorts, or maybe it's even just exploring Orlando? Like, Hank and I were just saying, there's some awesome places to go, like Winter Park, like even you can putz around downtown Orlando. There's a couple bars on like Church Street and things like that, exploring the food, exploring the culture. And like an hour and a half away, Cocoa Beach, you can go to one of the coasts there.
Yeah.
Orlando's a great central hub to go to a lot of other places. So if that's something where you want to set up camp in there and you have like a Florida bachelor party, do Disney one day, Universal one day, Orlando, and a beach a couple other days, that's not a bad gig either.
Yeah, and I think you also got to toss in, with this destination type of place, a lot of people want to go to pretty sweet. Like you said, we played it a little bit cheap because we had some people that were 18 didn't have the funds to go out. But you want these premium hotel experiences. You want that room with the view in Las Vegas. Boy, some of the best hotel rooms in the entire country are going to be down in Disney.
When it's a place that's based on hospitality, you're going to get great rooms, great amenities.
If you want that experience. Right. If you want that experience where you watch The Hangover and you see them bust into that, penthouse suite, those rooms do exist in quite a large number at Disney World if you're so inclined.
Tigers not included.
Tigers
Unless you're staying at Animal Kingdom. Who knows?
Yeah. I was honestly thinking in my head, those Jumbo House villa suites, top floor, the view over the savannah with the circular deck. Oh.
But I mean, it is something to keep in mind because, and we do try to say this a lot, not just with this segment of Disney bachelor parties, but keep in mind the budgets you want to remain within, and make sure you survey the entire bachelor party. But whatever budget you have, you can probably achieve it in Disney, whether it's on the low side or the high side. There's going to be amenities. There's going to be park ticket options. There's going to be food options that will fit your budget. You just have to come up with one and stick to it and make sure everyone agrees to it. Because I will say this, the last thing you want is one guy complaining about prices. Like, we're spending more money on this, we're spending more money on this. Nothing brings a room and a bachelor party down than someone doing that. Luckily, we didn't experience that.
I was going to say, I don't think that happened at one single time.
No, but I've definitely been associated with ones where...
Yeah, shoot. I can imagine that, too, because it can just balloon. Why are we splitting this bill again?
Yeah.
Why are we splitting this bill again?
Because our best friend's getting married, you ass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, and kind of piggybacking off of that, know that someone has to take the lead and plan it all out, okay? Someone be the bigger man. Someone step up. Don't make, the groom plan all of it, right? Try not to make the groom plan any of it, really. This goes for all bachelor parties. Step up to the plate, take the lead, knock it out of the park. But that's just my tip. And especially when it comes to a Disney bachelor party. Like we said. Yeah,
because you really, and Connor and I have talked about this. I think we talked about it on the last show. You got to have a point person when you're planning this stuff. You got to have someone that's waking up at 7 a.m. to plan ride times. Not that you have to do that, but it's good to have someone of knowledge. You got to have someone that knows what bars to go to, at least did a little bit of research for anywhere you go. Hopefully you're not just going on a bachelor party to Vegas and you plop in there and hope that you're going to get the right reservations and right shows booked. It's going to take a little bit of planning regardless of where you go. So don't expect to just show up in Disney and think that, oh yeah, we'll go to the park today. It'll be fine. We'll just get a bunch of drinks at Epcot. Probably a better idea to, figure out like, oh yeah, we could go to this bar. It's called the Abracadabra Bar. And, take a break in the afternoon and have a few drinks there.
We did have to do that. That was not in the plans. And I will say this much. I did that to save a life. I did. Someone in our bachelor party was basically going to die. So I thought...
Of tiredness.
We're going to need... Of tiredness, right. We're going to need to walk a little bit. We'll go into this bar. You boys go on ahead. We'll meet up with you. I'm going to take them up to the lobby of the boardwalk. We're going to chill out for about 30 minutes. Let them take a little nap in a chair.
Take a little nap.
Go on, boy.
Quick power nap.
Go on. Put your head down. He knows who he is.
It sounds, honestly, if someone's listening to this podcast, it sounds like one of our friends got so drunk that it was like, all right, we got to sit this guy down. No, this guy was actually just tired.
He was just a tired little boy. He was just a tired little boy. God bless him. Yeah. We love him. But he was a tired little boy.
Was a responsible drinker and a great friend.
He wasn't doing anything wrong. But... yeah, so someone has to take the lead. Someone has to maintain the budget. Someone has to make sure everyone is taken care of because you don't want those moments where it gets awkward. One of these things is when you go on a family vacation, someone's going to have a tussle. Someone's going to have a meltdown. When it comes to being in a bachelor party, you really want to try to avoid those situations just because the reason you're there is for someone else, Yeah. And any way you can accommodate that, the more people you can accommodate, I guess the better.
So we went during the month of June. Warm month, beautiful outside, long days, which is another nice thing. Parks are going to have longer hours, more time to go to the pool at the end of the night. The days felt long. So that was a time that we definitely would advise going, where you can get the full experience of, it's going to be hot, but enjoy those long days.
And we kind of went in earlier June. Yep. I guess June to mid-June. Early June to mid-June, I should say. So, yeah, crowds were heavy, but they had Connor Brown as their lead. So I knew how to get them all around and stuff like that.
And so does every listener of this podcast, too, if they utilize you the right way.
Yeah, utilize me.
Send that email, Connor.
Send the emails to me. I'll answer any of them. Please, God, just send an email to me. I'm very lonely. I actually did like going in June. I'll be honest with you. When we first started coming up with dates and stuff, I wanted to avoid the summer months like the plague. But that's just always what I would come down to. And I enjoyed it. Was it hot? Yeah, it was hot. But, it's never not going to be more warm than any place else in Orlando. I mean, it was June. Anywhere you go in the States in June, it's going to be hot. But I had a great time.
Yeah. Or you can, I mean, really, the truth of it is, and another reason why Disney World works so well is that you can really just, is your calendar open? Or that's why another reason why Vegas works so well, and a lot of people go there, is if you need a certain month of the year to work, go to Vegas or Orlando, because it's going to work out.
Yeah,
the weather's going to be nice. Unless it's marathon weekend and it's negative 32, or not negative 32, below 32, and they have to cancel the marathon last January.
There was very few people who were doing a party to Myrtle Beach in December.
There you go. Know? And Nashville can get pretty cold too. I know that's a big bachelorette party town too.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Bachelorette. That might be the bachelorette capital of the United States right now.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I guess you're right.
I think it might be.
Do they have that title?
I heard someone talked about that. I think it might be. Here you go. Nashville is now the bachelorette party capital of the U.S.
Who wrote that article?
The Tennessean.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh, and BuzzFeed, so now it's official.
Official.
It's official. If there's anywhere you need to go for a bachelorette party news, you go to BuzzFeed.
Did BuzzFeed write anything about Disney World being the bachelor capital of the world?
No.
Damn it.
I'm gonna go. Let me Google that.
No, don't Google that. Don't Google that.
I did.
Obviously, we're big food and wine people over here. Probably another great time to go on a bachelor party out there to Disney World. You want to go during the slower times, always available. But like Hank was saying, anytime's good to go. And unlike other cities, it's really one of those places where no matter when you pick the date, it's going to be awesome.
I do like, and then you will encounter these types of people too. And so it's actually something to plan for. Is your bachelor party really? Is this really your bachelor party right now?
Are you talking about the people you meet in the parks?
Yeah. Where they give you is this really your bachelor party? And you're like, yes.
Oh, is this your bachelor party? Who's getting married? And then we point to Henry's 18-year-old brother.
Yeah.
This kid. He's 16. Oh.
Are we smiling? Are people having a good time? Is anyone dead in a ditch? No.
Not yet, because I just had him take a nap.
No one's pulled their tooth out? No one's fighting a Mike Tyson? No tiger in the bedroom?
That, what it comes down to, like we were saying, is just have fun. This is going to be a place where you're going to have fun. Anyone who goes with you will have fun. I just always want to reiterate it because you don't have to have a crazy freaking time. You don't have to be like, I can't believe we did that. Sometimes it can just be, that was awesome. I loved every aspect of it. Every second of it was fun. And that's how I felt when I was on this party. I don't know about you, Hank.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a good way for me to put a cap on it is what you said is you are going, when you go to Disney World, you're really going to a world. So you can access any part of a world, I'm using air quotes, when you go there. So do you want to do you want to have a honeymoon there? Sure, you can figure that out. Do you want to take your 2-year-old there and have them experience Fantasyland and Magic Kingdom for the first time? Sure. Can you go on a, couples retreat? Yep. Can you throw a banging, awesome bachelor party? Absolutely.
And you can also do it for bachelorette parties, college reunions, fall break, spring break for college kids. No matter what you are or who you are, any trip is going to be a good trip to Walt Disney World. But that's going to do it for us this week. As always, thank you so very much for listening to the show. Be sure to rate and review us on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and to share the show with someone you think might enjoy it. If you liked what you heard today, then you've been listening to the WDW Opinion Podcast. But if by chance you didn't like what you heard, then you've been listening to Pardon My Take.
Zing.
For Hank, I'm Connor. We'll see you real soon.